Yeah, I think so.
So in a live game, you saw him play the way he played and still question if he can do the same thing when he has the actual starters at his disposal. We saw it show
Friday.
up. The fact that he's not getting first team reps with the ones and the twos and still went out there and looked the way he did.
He's an accurate thrower, doesn't have a huge arm, moves okay, and when he's got to make big throws in the red zone, he's pretty damn good at it. That's my take. Yours.
Shedeur Sanders is once again stuck in limbo, as reports keep circulating that Kevin Stefanski still isn't ready to give him the edge over Dillon Gabriel. And once that news dropped, Ocho and Shannon Sharpe wasted no time lighting it up. They went straight at Stefanski's stance. Ocho didn't sugarcoat a thing, straight up questioning how Stefanski could still hesitate after seeing what Shedeur has already done when he suited up for the Browns in real game situations. Ocho basically said, "You've seen him compete, you've seen him deliver, so why are we still acting unsure?" The frustration was loud and clear. Shannon Sharpe came at it from a different angle, breaking down the logic, or lack of it. He challenged Stefanski directly, asking how you can doubt Shedeur Sanders while being so confident in Kenny Pickett at the same time. That question alone stopped the whole argument in its tracks.
My thing is, he says no reasonable person thinks Sanders will be fully ready to lead a team and consistently attack a complicated NFL defense 3 weeks from now. What about Dillon Gabriel? Has he shown you enough?
Meanwhile, reports started floating around that the Browns believe Shedeur wouldn't be able to command the offense against a complex defense. But let's be honest, that explanation doesn't fully add up. This doesn't feel like a football-only decision. It feels like selective doubt, selective patience, and selective standards being applied where they shouldn't be. Shannon Sharpe doubled down, asking the obvious question nobody in the building seems eager to answer. How exactly do the Browns know Dillon Gabriel can do what they're projecting?
I can't imagine there's many people that think Dillon Gabriel's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. I don't care where they were drafted. And if the Browns are the one team that thinks that, then I'm going to suspect it's not true. They don't know what they're doing.
They've been on every quarterback evaluation for 30 years.
Right.
I never root against anybody.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised if Dillon Gabriel's ever a legitimate starting quarterback for the.
Especially when the practice tape tells a very different story. Gabriel's performances in camp haven't exactly been confidence boosters, yet he keeps getting extended grace while Shedeur stays on the sideline waiting for a real shot. Gabriel was given every chance to separate himself, especially during stretches when Shedeur wasn't taking reps in team sessions. And when the moment was his, he went 11 for 22. That's a straight 50% completion rate with no competition pushing him, no distractions, and no excuses. That was his opportunity, and it slipped right through his fingers. So let's really ask the question, how is that the guy you trust to lead an NFL offense? How do you justify that level of inconsistency when Shedeur Sanders is right there, healthy, locked in, and flashing confidence on every snap he touches? And don't brush this off as one bad day either, because this trend didn't start there. Go back to day 8 of camp. Easily one of Dillon Gabriel's roughest showings yet. Out of 14 reps, he completed just 3 passes. Even worse, 11 throws missed the mark entirely. 11.
But I thought the guys did a really nice job of Shedeur and operating, the guys making plays. So, again, a ton to teach off of.
That's not timing issues. That's not nerves. That's a pattern forming in real time. The defense clearly had him figured out. They were reading him clean, anticipating throws, and forcing mistakes with ease. The rhythm wasn't there. The awareness wasn't there. The precision just never showed up. And as Gabriel continued to struggle, the contrast with Shedeur Sanders only got louder. More and more respected football voices are starting to say it out loud. Dillon Gabriel doesn't look like a future starting quarterback for the Browns. And if that's the case, the question isn't whether Shedeur deserves a chance. It's why the Browns keep finding reasons not to give him one. He simply doesn't have the full toolkit to lead a team at this level. Yet somehow, the Browns front office keeps pushing Dillon Gabriel as a possible starter, and that's where the real confusion kicks in.
Wait a minute, but where's the can't coming from when we just saw him do it? I know it's a small sample size, it's 3/4 of football, but everything you said he can't do, he just did. Matter of fact, he just did what we already saw him do at Jackson State. He just did what we saw him do at Colorado.
The decision-making feels shaky, especially when so many respected analysts are openly questioning it. So let's break down what senior sports voices are actually saying about Gabriel and whether he's really built to lead this team moving forward. Shannon Sharpe came out swinging. He went straight at Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, accusing him of forcing a narrative against Shedeur Sanders for things Shedeur hasn't even been allowed to prove yet. According to Sharpe, this isn't about what Shedeur can't do, it's about what he hasn't been given the chance to show. What made it worse? Sharpe pointed out that Stefanski never once acknowledged what Shedeur can do on the field. In Sharpe's words, this situation looks less like evaluation and more like personal bias creeping into football decisions. He even suggested there could be pressure coming from higher up in the organization, quietly influencing Stefanski and clouding his judgment when it comes to giving Shedeur a fair shot. And honestly, Sharpe isn't wrong. During Stefanski's press conference, the focus was locked entirely on improvement and flaws. There was zero real praise for Shedeur Sanders. His upside? Ignored. His flashes? Overlooked. The conversation stayed glued to negatives, while Shedeur's potential barely got a mention at all. So when people say the energy feels one-sided, it's not hard to see why. That's when Ocho stepped in and turned the volume all the way up. He questioned how Stefanski could confidently say Shedeur can't do this when the football world has already seen him do exactly that. Ocho made it clear. Doubt has followed Shedeur his entire career, and every single time he's answered it on the field. Ocho reminded everyone that this isn't new. Going all the way back to Shedeur's college days at Jackson State, he's faced skepticism at every level, and every time the lights came on, he delivered. He didn't crumble under pressure, he leveled up. So the real question became, why are people still pretending this resume doesn't exist? Ocho didn't stop there. He pointed out that Shedeur has already shown flashes at the N.F.L. level too. Even while working with third and fourth team units without consistent reps against top defensive looks, Shedeur still found ways to stand out. He wasn't being set up to succeed, yet he still showed poise, confidence, and command. And that's where the controversy really heats up. If Shedeur can perform under limited reps, minimal support, and stacked odds, imagine what he could do with real preparation and first-team resources. That's the part critics say the Browns refuse to address. The debate surrounding Shedeur Sanders as a potential starting quarterback continues to explode, and for many analysts, it's no longer about talent, it's about process. When you stack Shedeur's production, resilience, and growth against Dillon Gabriel's uneven training performances, the imbalance becomes impossible to ignore. With voices like Shannon Sharpe and Ocho calling it out, the pressure on the Browns is building fast. Whether it's coaching preference, internal pressure, or flawed evaluation, one thing is clear. This situation isn't sitting right with the football world. Or maybe it's a flat-out refusal to acknowledge what Shedeur Sanders actually brings to the table. The hesitation to give him the opportunity he's clearly earned isn't just overlooking talent. It's passing up a real chance to shape the Browns' future the right way. As Dillon Gabriel continues to show shaky accuracy and uneven performances, the question keeps getting louder. Why is Shedeur still on the outside looking in? Only time will tell if the Browns are willing to shift their approach. But the momentum around this conversation is undeniable now. More voices are lining up behind the same conclusion. Shedeur Sanders has earned his moment, and he's proven again and again that he can command a team and rise under pressure. So what do you think about all this? Do you agree with Shannon Sharpe and Ocho that Shedeur is being held back despite showing real ability when given even limited chances? Or do you think the Browns are justified in sticking with Dillon Gabriel, even with the inconsistency we've all seen on the field? Is this just flawed evaluation, quiet internal pressure, or something deeper happening behind closed doors that fans aren't being told about? And most importantly, do you believe Shedeur Sanders deserves a legitimate shot at being the starting quarterback, or should the Browns stay locked into their current plan? Now, it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this debate rolling. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video so you don't miss what's coming next. We'll catch you on the next one.